Hello, Roger. Welcome.
Hello, Maria. Welcome. Nice to see you.
So let's do our second video, and we're going to have a discussion based on the GROW model. Are you fine with it?
I am absolutely happy with it. Let's talk about the GROW model.
Okay. And before we started recording, we agreed that our discussion is going to be based on the current situation, as we are currently prisoners in our own homes, and many of us is having many issues to deal with that situation. So some of us are breaking the rules, some of us are doing things that we should not have done. So Roger, shall we start the discussion?
Absolutely.
And could you remind us what are the 4 pillars of the GROW model?
But the GROW model is, G stands for goals, having some goals in your life, okay? R is the reality of the situation at any moment. The reality of the situation is that most of the planet is on lockdown, and some countries are a lot more unlucky than we are, really.
Yes.
We are in a country, it's hard, yes, we cannot deny that. It can be mentally very difficult, but I couldn't imagine myself living in a very poor country, because obviously the risks are far greater than here.
Yes.
In France or in the UK, okay? And the options, what are the options to actually deal with that reality that we're all facing? And what's the way forward after that?
Exactly.
What's the way forward? What's going to happen? What's
so,
next?
shall we talk about the goals? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So everyone, well, I hope that everyone have got a goal, and I'm sure that every one of us, with the situation with coronavirus, have one ultimate goal, and that is to survive it healthy and maybe not wealthy, but at least healthy and optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the primary goal for most people is to be able to eat, is to be able to know where the next meal is going to come from.
Yes.
Is to be able, where is the money going to come from? Because if you're unlucky enough not to fall in the category of people being helped, what do you do?
Exactly.
What solutions do you have? Okay, and that can be very stressful, and then things like that. That can be very difficult.
But on the positive side, Roger, would an activity which is currently very important for every single one of us, in order to, shall I say, keep sane,
Yeah,
we should take activities up that we haven't done up to now. And that should be our next goal, short term or maybe a mid-term, because we don't know when this is all going to be over. I would put as a second goal acquiring new skills.
Actually, I totally agree with you. And personally, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm learning a lot more stuff around YouTube, because I started to do YouTube videos when my wife was alive, and I carry on now doing it. But so one of my goals is to improve, to learn more about it, because I am at home, so I might as well do some things. So, and another thing I have done better than before actually is to have a weekly routine. and I just
Well
did,
done.
yeah, it was a weekly routine. And
Fantastic.
so I know I've got other things to do. So my next objective, really, something I should have done a little while ago, but that I am going to do today, is
Okay.
a list of things I need to do.
Fantastic.
Because I've noticed I let a few things going past in the last week or 10 days because they are not written down, and it stays in my mind and it goes at the back of your mind,
Yes.
and it might pop up again in a month's time. No, if I write it down, then I unload my mind. Yeah, I don't give it too much. So it's not as cluttered, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, and so can I
So
suggest, yeah, sorry, I was going to suggest something as well.
please do.
I'm sure a lot of people do it already, is to, if you can't get in touch physically, we have a phone, speak to people, wish them well, ask how they are, or even speak to people like I am doing now with Maria, of a video conference app, Zoom. Yeah, that's one of them. And I think it's very important because it keeps you sane. We are creatures of, we need to meet people, we need to interact.
Yes, I think that is very important, particularly now, because we need to stay in touch. We still need to build relationships between people, relationship between the family, relationship between the friends. We need to be able to take part in online activities by other gurus. Like yesterday and day before yesterday, I personally took part in a 3-hour long teleconference, which was provided by Eric Worre, and there were some amazing suggestions, amazing tips for a business, for individual career, for life, basically. So it has been a very educational 2 days for me. But I also took part in other events online, which I am really grateful for because they have enhanced my way of resolving problems. Because although we are talking about goals, whilst we are discussing goals, we need to recognize some problems. And at the moment, one of the problems that we have is the inability to go out and meet people, inability to go out and do our normal daily routine to which we are used to.
Yeah, that's a very good point you're making. But also at the same time, that made me think, when you organize your own Zoom on the Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and then the other one on Thursday, I think it is. Was it on Thursday or?
Tuesday.
Pardon?
Last one was Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday, that's it. Tuesday and Saturday, right? Okay. And Janelle came on, a good friend of mine, and she would, I mean, it sounds cruel to say that, but if this coronavirus had not happened, she wouldn't have talked to you. She wouldn't have made new friends on that Zoom.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing as well. I invited her to what Malcolm Charlo, another good friend of mine, who's organizing just a social Zoom every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. And Janelle was on it, and as well, which is great. Also, and then on that Zoom, or one of the Zoom I did with Malcolm, we agreed that when the coronavirus is over and then we can go out again, we will meet in real life. So Janelle is going to meet people in real life.
Yes.
That she would have never met before.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I've encouraged her to open up and then stuff like that. Because when she came, she introduced herself and she said, "I am just a mom." And then Malcolm said, "No, no, no, you're not just a mom. You're a mom." And that's important. And then she started to rectify the way she was talking about herself.
Yes, because you know, if we are going to allow ourselves to be locked up in the house and not take the advantage of the tools that we have available, and I'm talking about tools online, we are actually separating ourselves from life as it is. Moreover, we are actually putting ourselves into a deep hole from which it will be extremely difficult to come out.
Oh, absolutely. Because so for example, myself, if I just decided to watch television, for example, then stay in bed until 10 o'clock, start cooking my meal at 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then eating my lunchtime meal at 4 o'clock, then ended up having a piece of bread and jam for my evening meal, and then do that for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. That will be difficult once this habit is to get out of it. Because, you feel comfortable, I'm okay, I'm surviving. But no, it's not the case. So we really have to do that. So personally, I find it very, very good to have these Zooms with yourself, with Dolphin Global Network, and with Natasha as well on the Sunday afternoon. Natasha, which I am going to invite to go on the Saturday one, with April, my American friend, who's
wonderful.
Two ideas for a book. Yeah, and yeah.
So we're going to have a fantastic Zoom next Saturday.
Yeah, so I think
that's tomorrow.
I don't know what you're coming up with, but I am just looking forward to it. Yeah.
I've got a couple of things in my sleeve to make it more interesting.
Yeah, more exciting. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's the reality of the situation, and hopefully, well, we will get through this. Yeah. And so we talk about the options, really. What are our options?
Yes.
And then can I just mention something on that one, if I may say? And actually, bless her, Gwen used to like television a lot, but she couldn't move a lot. So, I mean, I'm not going to criticize her for that. That wouldn't be fair. But since she decided to go to on the other side, in French we will call it dans l'au-delà, okay? And then I'm not watching TV as much, nowhere near. I just sometime in the morning when I get up, I put it on because I want to hear some noise and something in my house. Yeah. I put it on a little bit because I still want to know what's going on with the coronavirus. Yeah. But not always, because after a while it's too much, but you need to know what's going on. And I've also realized I've watched more documentaries when I do watch TV, which is a lot less than before. I watch some documentaries on RT or Al Jazeera because I find them very interesting and eye-opening. But that's about it, really. I don't watch anything else, and I do like watching The Voice when it's on because it's
very nice. Yeah, it's very good program. Music is very important in our life. The right type of music, that is. The same if we watch an educational film, or a film that is giving us a food for thought, it is very, very important, because one of the options that we have, and I think that is one of probably the most important options out of all this situation, is to actually get ourselves educated.
Absolutely. I mean, learning. I mean, I am 61 now, okay? And I think I mentioned that to my brother the other day. I was talking to him.
You are 60 now, not 61.
No, I am 61. I was born in 1959.
Yes, so you are 60.
No, one. I was 61 in March.
Oh, sorry. I thought you are so young.
I saw, no problem. And actually, no, I like to mention that not just because I'm 61 or 60, but the point I would like to make here, a lot of people, when they reach that age, they start to see the end. Well, I mean, they are going to get their pension, how much they are going to get, how I'm going to survive, which is obviously the first one of our first needs anyway. We need to survive. We need to be able to eat, to have a roof over
Shelter.
shelter and all that. But at the same time, I said to my brother, no, I don't see. We mentioned about the French pension I'm going to have, which is not too bad considering the amount of time I worked over there, and so, but it's there. But I said to my brother, at the same time, I don't see it at the end. I'm learning new things while I am in here because I am still fit. I eat a lot better than I used to, and I feel the difference already. I honestly feel the difference already.
Fantastic.
But I'm learning new things because I'm still, as I said, so more things on YouTube and public speaking and coaching. Because if
I think that is fantastic, Roger, and the example you are actually personally, it's amazing. Yes, I agree that when people become 60 and above, they think that the life is ending, that there is nothing really else that they can do. Obviously, some of them maybe want to travel a little bit more if they have any money put aside. However, we have to remember that in UK, we are working till age 66.
Yeah, and then, but yeah.
The other thing, it has been proven that 40 years of age is no longer a middle age.
No,
a middle-aged person begins his life or her life at age 60.
Oh yeah,
so I mean, we've got the 6 in front.
Yeah.
But we are only just beginning our life. We've got plenty in us to do, plenty to achieve, and plenty to dream about.
Yeah, I totally agree actually, because because one of the projects I like to do on YouTube, for example, is I would like to do a series of videos. I'm thinking about culture, but even in this country, because I've got a channel at the moment which it's a bit about everything. Okay, so I will call it Life and Tribulations and this tribulation. But what I love to do when this lockdown is over, is be able to travel to some different villages and little towns outside Bolton and outside big cities.
So you're talking about way forward. Let's
think about way forward actually, yeah.
On the options that we have here at the moment in this situation. So we mentioned self-education.
Yeah, self-education. Yeah, and then
we mentioned planning forward. We mentioned activity.
Activity, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just talk a little bit more about activities. What other activities we can do apart from watching positive films, getting education? What else can we do in order to prepare ourselves for the time when this prison sentence is over?
Well, okay, so when this sentence is over, we're all free to go out again. One of the other activity I do, beside training myself, is to read. Now we have a choice of, actually that's another thing as well. I talked with my brother what type of book I am reading. And I don't read any novels or anything like that at the moment, which I could do. And then there is 2 books that I do love at the minute. One is in French, and then the other one is in English. And because they actually help me, they help me with my sanity.
Okay, what are these books?
The first one, which I'm not quite finished yet, but is from Frédéric Lenoir, and is L'âme du monde, which is the soul of the world. I'm trying to find the exact equivalent in English, and I cannot find it for some reason.
Okay.
Which is a shame, really. It's so nicely written. It's like a tale, if you wish.
Yes.
with what we call the sages who live together, like and he mentioned different religion and all that. But the way it's written is how we can live our life, and you know, it's it's really it's really nice and calming book. Yeah, he's done a few conferences in France and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, I think he's a kind of a professor of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And the other one?
yeah, yeah, that's right. Philosophic. Yeah, it touches your heart. And then the other one is a very dynamic book from Satwinder Sagu. The reason why I bought his book is because, well, how it happened is because he was in the audience when I was giving my speech, one of the speeches at the Speaker Challenge. And then, oh, I saw him, I recognized him, and he said, oh, well done, mate, you've done great. And then he said to me, I have written a book which is Unleash Your Inner Power. So I bought it from Amazon. So he sent it to me, and I'm going to do a video about this with him on Saturday. And that's really what I'm learning from this is the power of focus and determination.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and that's really good. That's how at the minute I nourish my mind. That doesn't mean I wouldn't read another book about like a novel or something. I've got quite a few French books about upstairs with around that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I nourish myself. Now and again, I go for a walk. Sometimes I hesitate a little bit to go down to the park because I am just concerned quite a few people are not to respect the rules. And if I go down to the park, I'm going to meet a lot of people. And I think there is a very good chance of that. So I am a bit wary.
Well, if you have a garden or a terrace, probably that would be the best solution. So you are not really, meeting other people.
Yeah,
But talking about reading, I am reading this book,
which is
which is The Formula.
by Steve Hackney.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
it's a book about how to market your business properly.
Oh, yeah, I need to improve myself in marketing.
Very
That's
good
what.
book, and I highly recommend this book to everyone.
Yeah,
And
because that's it.
as you know, I am bilingual, and I've got that book downstairs. I also read um, some coaching stuff in my
In your language.
my own language that I'm doing and
Oh,
what I'm passionate about. But I also read a book which is about 1,000 pages, a gift from my best friend,
oh yeah, 1,000
um,
pages, okay.
which is written by the Nobel Prize winner Olga Tokarczuk, the Polish lady.
Oh yeah,
So I'm very grateful for that possibility, and for everyone who is watching this video, do take time and use the options available.
yeah,
So
do the options that are available to you.
absolutely. So you are stuck at home and you don't have to work through remote means. You can read, you can watch a useful film or video that is going to teach you something that you can then review and say, yeah, yes, I've learned something. Take a clean notebook and just write down what is happening right now is a story. It's a story which will be very important for the people that come after us. So keep a diary, keep a journal, do a video about your feelings, how you are dealing with the situation. Help your friend, help your mother, father, your brother, your sister in dealing with this situation. Because really, this is the biggest, probably the biggest ever uh, home arrest that has ever been done at the same time in the world, because
Yeah.
even the World War II did not reach that many countries as it has reached now. So
Oh, that's something I didn't realize actually, Maria.
so
That,
we are actually creating a huge history here. So your story from this period of time, your memoirs are going to be a gold mine for people that come after us. So
yeah,
why not leave a legacy to your family members, to your children, grandchildren, and so on and so on? Let them know what has happened in your life, because that will be an example for them to look at and learn from it.
yeah,
Because every single one of us, doesn't matter what we do, where we are writing a book as we speak. So take action. Don't procrastinate. Don't say, "Ooh, I'm fed up."
we
Or,
wish we.
as one of my mentors said, don't be FF-topped. And I'm not going to explain to you what it means because it's really bad. But don't complain, because why should you? What we are living through is amazing, is highly educational. Because if you open YouTube, if you open newspapers, if you open BBC News, Sky News, whatever, you hear so many versions for the reasons as to why we are in these situations as we are, then you're going to go mental.
Yeah, this is what.
Create your own opinion
Yeah,
of this, what is happening, and create your plans for the future once we are over it. So Roger is going to start to answer our next point, which is the fourth pillar, the way out, the way forward. Roger, over to you.
over to me. Thank you very much. Okay, so the way forward, uh, as far as I'm concerned, will be a result of what probably you would have learned during this time.
And
during,
what you have prepared, yes.
and what you have prepared. And then one other thing, I mentioned it a bit earlier, but I mention it now. So one of the things I want to do with regards to doing videos, for example, to get about a bit more variety into it. So for example, what I like to do is to explore some uh, villages or little towns outside big cities, like outside Bolton. There is
So
Ramsbottom.
is that going to be the first thing you do when you get out of prison?
It could be one, not necessarily the first thing I am going to do when I get the key to my freedom again.
Yes.
But that could be one of the activities I could do or I can do to bring more variety in what I'm putting on YouTube, so make it more interesting for the people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also planning to do something similar in France to teach people the French language as well as the French
Fantastic.
culture and civilization, because there are so many beautiful places around there. And but I'll have to become creative in this one, because how am I going to take people around France without going there in the first place? If because I might not be able to go there until, let's say, January or February, for example. Yeah.
I think Roger, adding to what you just said, and that's amazing what you have just said.
Yeah.
I think one of the pastimes now would be, and I'm thinking of it every single day, is like answer yourself the question, and the way forward is this: prepare a plan. How are you going to celebrate that fact that someone is going to throw that key away and you open your door to freedom again?
Yeah.
What is going to be the celebration? what are you going to do?
The very first thing, just after that, yeah, it's one of the things I used to take for granted, I suppose, is just to go to Costa or, yeah, and then just and go and enjoy your latte there with a book. And because we take things like that for granted, it's just there for you. So you just go in, you spend your 5 or 6 quid because you may fancy a panini with it or whatever. So you spend 5 or 6 quid, you have your latte, and or you fancy a bit more, you'll have a French pain or chocolat or something. And you read your book for an hour and a half, or you look at the time because there is 3 hours limit on the car. Yeah. But you, oh my God, I've got to go. I get fined otherwise. Yeah. Yeah, but that we take it for granted, don't we? It's just there.
Exactly.
It's just normal. And then suddenly it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a guy actually, and that to take the word of that guy I've seen on TV the other day. And he had coronavirus. I don't know if he was a doctor himself or just one of us, as it were. And he explained he come out of it and it was very, very bad. And he said, I am so happy to be here. I don't think he expected to be there. And I am just rediscovering, I am like a child. I'm
Yes, it's like a second life, really.
Yeah, he's rediscovering everything.
Mm.
Flowers in a garden or in a park is rediscovering that the beauty of the world around him, that if he had not gone through that horrible experience, maybe he wouldn't have noticed. He just realized, hang on a minute, this world is beautiful.
Yeah.
We got plants, we got trees, we got birds singing. And even though, and keep fingers crossed, I haven't got the symptoms, but about a week ago or so, a bit longer, I went to the park here, but a bit further back actually. I went all, around the river, and a place I never been to before. I never went down the stairs there to go and discover that.
So now you're going to take that opportunity.
Yeah, and I've been there once, but I want to go there when there is not too many people. So I'll have to make the effort to go early in the morning before I expect too many people, because I still want to follow the rules. But it was so nice to be able to listen to the water going down, to listen, not just watch it, but to listen to the noise it makes and all that, and just embrace it. Just simple joy, just simple joys like that. Yeah. That we didn't. Probably didn't notice before. We just walked past because we could see. Yeah, yeah.
So just to conclude,
yeah,
make sure you have your goals. Make sure you know the reality that we are in at the moment, and you understand it. Look at the options you have to deal with this situation, and ensure that these are very positive options, because there is plenty of them. And then look at the beautiful pictures of your way forward. See other things, visualize the things that you're going to do once you come out of this isolation. Who are you going to talk to first? Who are you going to embrace first? What celebration you're going to do once this is all over? And how you're going to come out of it? Wiser, stronger, healthier? Or are you going to come out of it thinking, oh my God, I have lost all the opportunity I could have taken advantage of whilst I was having the time to make my life better? Which one would you choose? Which option do you want to choose?
Yeah, and then the option to make your life better. So it's like being at the crossroad, and it's like you drive on the road, and then suddenly you have a choice. You drive, and then there is a signpost saying right, and another one saying left. And the left is the easy way, let's say. I'm going to watch television every single day. I can just chill out.
Yes.
and then wait for the best, or you can go to
Take
the
action.
market and then choose the way
The way forward.
the way forward, which may be a bit more difficult because you have to discipline yourself
Exactly.
and that kind of thing. But then we have a choice. And which one are you going to take, guys? Left
Which one?
or
Fantastic. Roger, thank you very much. Thanks very much for this discussion. And I'm looking forward to our next one in a week's time.
in a week's time? That would be great. Yeah.
Wonderful. In the meantime, have a fantastic Easter. Take advantage of the time off and build the way forward.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.